Why does Saudi Arabia get a civilian nuclear deal, but Iran doesn't get a civilian nuclear deal?
This agreement is still being worked out. As it's been discussed thus far, does give priority access for American companies in the Saudi nuclear energy program, which will ultimately benefit American industry workers and supply chains. So the deal that has been discussed thus far and will continue to be discussed absolutely puts America first.
Saudi Arabia, they've been an important strategic partner for us, so it would make sense for us to enter into such an agreement. A country pursues nuclear technology with another country, well then we don't really control those safeguards. But suffice it to say, the U.S. is not going to reach any agreement with any country in the world. That leads to the risk of proliferation.
약간의 오해가 있으신 것 같은데, 우리가 핵무기를 적재한 잠수함을 만들겠다는 게 아니고 핵 추진 잠수함의 연료를 우리가 공급받을 수 있도록 대통령께서 결단을 좀 해주시면 좋겠습니다.
The civil nuclear deal, there will be no enrichment of material, which pertains only to non-military use, but is totally subject to Saudi Arabia joining the very respected and successful Abraham Accords. The United States is not opposed to civil nuclear facilities.
This is something that the Saudis have wanted for a long time. The Trump administration's point of view, they are looking at it in terms of whether, if Saudi Arabia is going to do this anyway at some point and it's part of their plan, is it better to do it with U.S. cooperation, oversight, opportunities for U.S. businesses?
Certainly something to be concerned about, that the U.S. really is seemingly turning into a fundamentally different direction in the way it views the role of nuclear technology in the world. If the United States now becomes much more lax in the restrictions it places on its sale of nuclear technology, why would the Russians or the Chinese or any other providers of nuclear technology feel themselves to be bound by the old rules?
I think Iran is likely to point at this and say, look, if you're having these conversations with someone else like Saudi Arabia, why are you imposing such standards on us?
Alexandra.
Be exempt from international inspections as part of this deal if it moves forward?
I don't want to comment on the specifics of the deal as we're still, again,
We should never, ever do this. Why would we ever set up a situation in which there would be the likelihood of nuclear proliferation? Presumably, that's why Trump was attacking Iran in the first place, was to stop them from being able to develop a nuclear weapon. Now we're going to go, on the other hand, have Saudi Arabia with the power to enrich uranium. This is really, really bad policy. No, this is just terrible policy.
It affects the arms race, nuclear arms race in the Middle East. It creates precedents about proliferation of, or possibly proliferation of nuclear capabilities, and also set some precedents about inspection and monitoring.
He has said if they don't join the Abraham Accords, the deal is off. The energy deal is contingent on this condition.
Why was that condition not mentioned yesterday when the Energy Secretary announced it?
Well, look, the president is always the final deal maker, as you know.
Did Prime Minister Netanyahu request this provision?
Not to my knowledge, no. Again, as I told you, this was an idea the president has long had.
So the deal is dead if Saudi Arabia doesn't join?
The president has spoken directly with the Saudis about this in numerous conversations in the past, and the administration will continue to engage in those conversations.
Past, the Saudi government has said they will not consider entering into the Abraham Accords unless and until there's a Palestinian state. What makes you think that they're going to change their minds on their position regarding that?
This is something that he feels very strongly about and has spoken about it in the past and will continue to uphold.